The music you listen to shapes who you are. Did you know this? You know, most people think of music as this pure, beautiful thing. But what if I told you there's a darker side to it? Like a side that messes with your head, controls your vibe, maybe even like controls your whole being. We're about to go deep, like really deep, into the music you listen to every day. We're talking secret societies, weird science, and the stuff they don't want you to know. Are you ready? This isn't about judging anyone's taste in music, okay? It's about opening your eyes to a whole other dimension of sound. So, buckle up, stay spooky, and let's dive into the dark influence of music. Okay, so like everything around us vibrates, right? Even silence has a sound, it's just at a frequency we can't hear. But some frequencies, man, they hit you differently. Think about it. A heavy bass drop in a club can make your chest pound. A soothing melody can calm your anxiety. Sound familiar? Scientists have been studying this for ages, how different frequencies can actually change your mood, your heart rate, even your brain waves. It's kind of creepy when you think about it. Have you ever felt a song change your mood instantly? So get this, there's this thing called standard tuning, right? It means all instruments are tuned to a specific frequency, 440 Hz to be exact. Like, why 440 A's? Why not something a little more chill? Well, turns out there's this whole conspiracy theory around it. Some people believe the Rockefeller Foundation pushed for 440 Hz back in the day because it promotes anxiety and aggression. I know, right? Sounds crazy. But think about it. If everyone's tuned to this potentially chaotic frequency, what does that do to our collective vibe? It kind of makes you wonder, what if we're all just like vibrating at a frequency that keeps us kind of on edge all the time? Okay, picture this. Laurel Canyon in the 1960s. A haven for musicians, like everyone from Jim Morrison to Joni Mitchell. They were creating legendary music, living this, like, bohemian dream. But there was a darkness lurking beneath the surface. Some of these artists died young, under mysterious circumstances. Others seemed to disappear, leaving behind whispers of government conspiracies and occult practices. The air in Laurel Canyon was thick with more than just weed smoke, you know what I'm saying? There was this undercurrent of, like, mystery and darkness that just clung to the place. What were they really singing about? What secrets did they uncover in the depths of their creativity? And then there's the music itself. Some say the lyrics were laced with subliminal messages, like hidden codes meant to manipulate our subconscious. I mean, think about some of those iconic songs from that era. There's a reason they still resonate so deeply, right? Maybe those artists tapped into something dark and powerful, something that continues to haunt the airwaves today. It's like those canyons hold secrets, man. Secrets whispered through the music. Secrets that we're only just beginning to uncover. Picture this, it's the 60s, man. Peace, love, and hidden agendas? Laurel Canyon, this place where music blossomed like wildflowers. But some of these flowers, they had thorns. We're talking Joni Mitchell, Jim Morrison, the Byrds. Their music, it vibrated with something deeper, darker. Like, were they just singing about heartbreak or were they whispering secrets? Is it just me? Or is there something kinda eerie about a bunch of seemingly unconnected artists, all drawn to the same secluded canyon? Like moths to a flame, but the flame is government secrets and maybe some really good weed. Did their music, those iconic lyrics, were they really just theirs? Or were they conduits, man, echoing something darker, something orchestrated? This is where things get weird. Some say Laurel Canyon wasn't just a haven for musicians, but for, like, government plants. Operatives disguised as artists. Their music laced with subliminal messages. I mean, it sounds crazy, right? But think about it, dude. The CIA's MKULTRA program, they were messing with mind control, right? Using music, movies, whatever they could to manipulate people. So why not plant some musicians in the heart of the counterculture? It's like we think we're choosing the music we listen to, but what if the music was choosing us? What if those catchy melodies were designed to program our thoughts, our desires? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Were these artists just puppets, their strings pulled by unseen forces? Or is there a darker truth hidden beneath the surface of their sun-drenched California sound? Okay, so we know music can make you feel things, right? Happy, sad, like you want to dance, or like you want to crawl into a hole and disappear. But what if I told you music could be a weapon? Not talking about like throwing your headphones at someone. I'm talking about sound waves, frequencies, vibrations that can literally mess you up. The government, they've been experimenting with this stuff for years. They call it sonic warfare. Using sound to disorient, incapacitate, even cause physical harm. Imagine a sound so intense it makes you vomit, or a frequency that stops your heart. It's like, we think of sound as something beautiful, something that moves us. But in the wrong hands, it can be a tool of control, a weapon of mass destruction. They say silence is golden, right? But silence can also be terrifying, especially when you know something's coming. The CIA, they even have this thing called the mosquito, a device that emits a high-pitched sound only audible to young people. They use it to disperse crowds, to control behavior. But what happens when they turn up the volume? When the sound becomes a weapon? It's like we're constantly bombarded with sound from the moment we wake up to the moment we close our eyes. But what if some of those sounds, the ones we don't even notice, are slowly chipping away at our sanity? Think about it. Constant exposure to low-frequency sound can cause anxiety, nausea, even hallucinations. So how do we know we're not already being manipulated by sound, our minds subtly controlled by frequencies we can't even hear? Okay, so we've talked about the dark side of music, the potential for manipulation, for harm. But let's be real, music can also heal. It can soothe our souls, connect us to something bigger. The rhythmic beating of a drum, it's like the heartbeat of the earth. The soaring melody of a violin, it's like the language of angels. Music transcends language, touching us on a primal level. Scientists use music therapy to treat anxiety, depression, and more. Music can unlock parts of our brain that nothing else can reach. Even in the darkest times, there's beauty and hope. The universe vibrates with unseen energy, and music taps into it. But then there's the other side of the coin. Music that's dark, disturbing, designed to corrupt and destroy. Music that glorifies violence, hatred, despair. Some people say it's just entertainment, that it doesn't have any real power over us. But I don't know, man. Music is energy, and energy can be used for good or evil. Think about the lyrics we listen to, the messages we internalize. Are we feeding our souls with light, or are we poisoning them with darkness? It's a question we all have to ask ourselves. Because the music we choose to listen to, it shapes us, it defines us. It can either lift us up or drag us down. So choose wisely. You ever get this weird feeling, like you're listening to the radio and every song kind of sounds the same? It's all polished, predictable. Like it's been, manufactured in some giant sterile lab. That's because it probably was. Welcome to the music industry, where creativity takes a backseat to algorithms and profit margins. Massive corporations decide what you hear, what you like, what you stream on repeat. They're selling you this idea of cool, this image of rebellion. But it's all carefully curated, packaged, and fed to you. They're businessmen in suits counting their stacks of cash while they suck the soul out of music. So next time you're scrolling through playlists, feeling that creeping sense of sameness, remember? You're not imagining it. It's kind of creepy, right? Like you listen to a couple pop songs, maybe some bubblegum trap, and suddenly your entire feed is flooded. The algorithm, man. It's always watching, listening, learning your every move. And it's not just about music, is it? It's about selling you a lifestyle, an identity. You like this song? Then you'll love these clothes, these shoes, this energy drink. It's all connected, this web of consumerism, and we're all caught in it. It's easy to feel powerless, lost in this digital sea of noise. But we have a choice, you know? We can choose to dig deeper, to seek out the artists who are actually saying something, who are challenging the system, who are making music that matters. Or we can just keep scrolling, letting the algorithm spoon-feed us our thoughts and feelings. The choice, as always, is yours. This is where things get kind of dark, kind of freaky. Ever heard of backmasking? It's these hidden messages, reversed audio, buried beneath the surface of a song. Some people say it's harmless, just a studio trick. Others, they think it's way more sinister. They say it's a way to implant ideas, to mess with your subconscious. You're listening to a song, bopping your head, totally unaware of the dark whispers swirling beneath the surface. It's like, is your soul being slowly poisoned without you even knowing? Maybe it sounds crazy, but there's been all these cases, right? Heavy metal bands accused of hiding satanic messages, pop stars flashing occult symbols. Coincidence? Or something more? It's enough to make you wonder, what's really going on behind the music? What are they trying to tell us? Or maybe, what are they trying to make us do? It's no secret, the music industry is brutal, cutthroat. People will do anything for their shot at fame, to see their name in lights. But what happens when that desire, that ambition, turns into desperation? There are whispers, rumors of dark pacts being made, selling your soul at the crossroads, sacrificing everything for a taste of success. Is it just a myth, a scary story to keep aspiring stars in line? Or is there something more to it? Think about it. So many artists, they skyrocket to fame only to crash and burn. Addiction, mental breakdowns, bizarre behavior. Is it just the pressure of fame? Or is it something darker? Something feeding off their talent, their energy, their very essence. The price of fame, they say, is high. But what if the currency isn't money, but something far more valuable? This is the part they don't want you to know about. The ugly underbelly of the music industry. It's not just about catchy hooks and dance moves. It's about money, power, and control. And sometimes, that control takes a very dark turn. Ever heard of private prisons? Corporations making a profit off of locking people up? It's a whole messed up system, and guess what? The music industry is tangled up in it. See, these corporations, they own record labels, they own streaming services, they own it all. And some of them, they also have investments in, you guessed it, private prisons. It's like a sick cycle. Create music that glorifies a certain lifestyle, a lifestyle that can lead to trouble with the law, then profit off those same people once they're behind bars. Think about it. How many songs glorify violence, drug use, gang culture? It's everywhere, in the lyrics, in the music videos, in the whole damn aesthetic. And it's not just hip-hop, it's all genres. Rock, pop, even country. Now, I'm not saying music causes crime, okay? That's way too simplistic. But it creates a narrative, a culture, that normalizes and even glamorizes behavior that can have serious consequences. And who benefits from that? The corporations. They profit off the incarceration of the very people they're supposedly entertaining. It's messed up, right? So next time you listen to a song, think about the message. Is it perpetuating harmful stereotypes? Is it contributing to a system that profits off of pain and suffering? Because music, as powerful as it is, can be used for good or evil. The choice, as always, is ours. Okay, so we've been through the dark side of music, like the really messed up stuff. But what about the ancient vibes, you know? Like way back biblical times kind of stuff. Turns out sound was a whole mood back then too. Remember Jericho? Yeah, that city that crumbled like a bad relationship. The Bible's all about how these massive walls just fell. And the weapon of choice? Not swords, not bombs, but trumpets, like seriously? 7 priests, 7 trumpets marching around those walls. The sound built and built this heavy, intense vibration until boom! The walls came crashing down. That's some straight-up sonic power, man. Makes you wonder about the energy locked inside sound, right? But it's not just about loud noises, yeah? The Bible also talks about the power of words, spoken words like little sonic daggers. Proverbs says, the tongue has the power of life and death. Heavy stuff, right? Think about it. Words can heal, they can uplift, but they can also wound, man. They can leave scars deeper than any knife. Cyberbullying, hate speech, it's all twisted echoes of that ancient power, you know? So, like, if sound can shatter stone, Imagine what it does to our minds, our hearts. We gotta be careful, mindful of the vibrations we put out there, the words we speak, the music we let in. It's like, are we building each other up or tearing each other down with sound? Deep, right? We're so bombarded with noise, right? Like constantly. But what about the silence in between? The spaces between the notes? The quiet moments before a storm? That's where things get really interesting. See, silence isn't empty. It's full of potential, like a blank canvas waiting for sound to explode onto it. It's in the silence that we can actually hear ourselves think, feel our own emotions without all the distractions. Ever notice how some of the most powerful moments in music are the pauses? The moments where the music drops out and you're left hanging, your heart pounding in your chest? That's the power of silence, man. It amplifies everything. So, how do we find that silence in all the noise? It's about being present, man. Like really present. Putting down the phone, tuning out the distractions, and just listening. Listening to the world around us, yeah, but also listening to ourselves. What's your inner voice saying? Is it filled with love, with peace? Or is it a cacophony of fear and doubt? We've got the power to change the soundtrack, you know? To choose the vibrations that resonate with our souls. It's about finding that inner harmony, that balance between the chaos and the calm. And sometimes the best way to find it is in the silence. So, that's it, the dark influence of music, laid bare. We've been through the good, the bad, and the downright creepy. From ancient trumpets to CIA mind games, it's been a trip, right? But here's the thing, knowledge is power. Now that you know the secrets, you can't unknow them. You're tuned in now. You hear the music differently, feel the vibrations deeper. So, what are you gonna do with that power? Are you gonna let the music control you? Or are you gonna take control of the playlist of your life? Thank you for joining me on this journey through the dark and dramatic influence of music. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into fascinating topics. Peace out.